Once upon a time, in a world not unlike ours, although then people dressed differently, and there were no airplanes, no running water, and no iPhones, there was a ruler, and he was called the Emperor. Now, this emperor told you everything you should believe. He told you the sun was out when it was raining. He told you it was raining when the sun was out. And even though neither of these things might be true as fact, it didn't really matter because the emperor would decide what was what, who was what was who, and what was true. Now, one day, this emperor decided to celebrate a holiday that he had declared for himself and himself alone.
I declare a holiday for me. Me. I declare a holiday in honor of delicious me. Let's parade through the town so the people can touch my marvelous golden crown and know how lucky they are to have me as their czar. I mean their emperor. Me. Me. But since a holiday's been declared for me, a new outfit must be prepared for me. And what'll it be? Nobody knows. The emperor needs new clothes. Oh, the emperor needs new clothes. Oh, the emperor needs new clothes. I request a new suit made of silk. Yes, I'm of that ilk. Striped cravat or red suspended pants. Maybe I'll take a chance on a new cashmere coat so that people can note I'm a personage of note. It may sound kind of bizarre that I'm their commissar. No, I mean their emperor. Everything will turn out fine. I'll be my own Valentine. My favorite pronouns, I mean mine. Mine. But since a holiday's been thrown for me, a new outfit must be sewn for me. And what should it be? Nobody knows. The emperor needs new clothes. Oh, the emperor needs new clothes. Oh, the emperor needs new clothes. Oh, the emperor needs new clothes. Oh!
The emperor would then announce over the palace loudspeaker that he needed the finest tailors in the world to come forth at once to make him the best outfit ever.
Hear ye, villagers far and wide. It is your emperor speaking, the one and only. Send me men who will make me glisten in the upcoming parade. Villagers far and wide, it is your emperor speaking, the one and only.
And so it would come to pass that obliging tailors from many quarters of this kingdom came from far and wide. For when the emperor called, everyone would listen. Now, how to choose? Well, this emperor chose from the outside to the inside, from the form to the content. And whom did he choose? The ones who would admire him beyond his worth.
These are my men, because their knees are bruised from kneeling. Their backs are broken from bowing. They are my kind of tailors.
But they were not real tailors. They were robbers. They were imposters. They were charlatans.
Oh, Emperor! Oh, Emperor!
How would we live without you?
How would we have air to breathe?
We adore you.
This emperor was anxious to look particularly beautiful for this special day. He had been very concerned lately about his fading looks and the fact that his belly had gotten a little too portly. These pretend tailors pretended to measure him up and down.
Your Majesty, how thin you will look.
How thin I am!
Your Majesty, how straight your toes are.
No corns, no bunions, so regal.
Your Majesty, how elegant your long fingers are.
Yes, my hands and fingers are the perfect length.
Your Majesty, You will be even more exquisite and imperial when clothed in our garments.
It is unimaginable how beautiful I will be.
This emperor had never felt so good about himself, for he felt that he had found the best haberdashers in the land. Time went by, and the impatient emperor summoned his jester, Sicko.
Hello, Emperor!
And then summoned his advisor, Fantic.
At your service, sir.
Sicko, you must go immediately to see how my outfit is coming along. You are my favorite jester, so you must look at it first.
Indeed, Your Majesty. Okay, Your Majesty. Amazing how everything you say, Your Majesty, is correct, and how easily you earn our undying respect, and with so little fuss. How amazing you are is what's amazing to us. Your hair, Your Majesty. Such flair, Your Majesty! And the clothes you've appeared in, you do not look weird in, are always right and never wrong, never too tight and never too long. Your clothes are wicked strong and wicked thin. Your clothes make legs look long and push the stomach in. No, I'm going to the tailor. I'm checking on the tailor to make sure that the clothes he's building are worthy of you. Are they worthy of you? But since you chose the tailor, I'm sure that the tailor is fine. And the clothes are fine. Very fine. And soon, Your Majesty, I'll return, Your Majesty. And certainly when I return, Your Majesty, I will report how good you look in the clothes as you parade through the court. And a new added plus, how amazing you are is what's amazing to us. What's amazing to amazing you are is what's amazing to us. How amazing you are is what's amazing to us.
The tailors were ensconced in a very special room, not too far from the palace. As soon as Sicko arrived, the robbers had him look immediately at the mannequin, where they said,
We have been weaving feverishly, Sicko.
Day and night, night and day, creating the finest of robes for the finest of
The
emperors.
fabric, the beauty of the golden threads and these rare jewels from Russia. And we are weaving into the cloth.
Now, if truth be told, although it is not often told in this story, Sicko the jester looked carefully at the mannequin, and I must tell you that the jester saw nothing. But he felt that he couldn't disappoint the emperor because he had been promoted to chief jester without the proper background. And so when he looked at the mannequin, which his eyes clearly saw was bare, his calculating brain sang to himself.
Please, Mr. Jester, you must pretend. You cannot say what you saw, 'cause you saw nothing, so you must pretend. And unless you say you saw something beautiful, they'll hire someone smarter and funnier in your place. I know it's a disgrace. I agree, but they will, and until they do, you will pretend you saw something handsome being made. So the emperor will march proudly in the parade, in the parade, in the parade.
And so Sicko the jester oohed and ahed and somersaulted with joy back and forth. He said the cloth he did not see was beautiful. He said the colors he did not see were wondrous, and that the emperor would be so very pleased. And then he left. He congratulated himself about his deceptive performance, for he felt he had been very smart to say that he had seen something, even though he had seen nothing.
Oh, my great emperor! The outfit they're making you for the grand parade is so glorious. The shine, the shimmer, the length, the fullness of it. You will look magnificent!
Sicko, Jester, I cannot wait to see it, and I trust your impeccable taste. I cannot wait to wear this outfit in the grandest of parades.
And so, as time would pass, the emperor would grow even more impatient, for it was now only several days until the grand parade, and the weavers were still weaving. The emperor called Fantic, his advisor.
Fantic, could you check in on the tailors and see how they're coming along with my grand frock?
Fantic, the advisor, rushed to see the tailors. Alas, the same thing happened that occurred with Sicko the jester.
It's royal.
It's regal, and only our emperor, the emperor, will wear this
So beautifully.
Fantic, the advisor, saw nothing on the mannequin. Absolutely and positively nothing. The tailors bowed low, and the advisor bowed even lower to the tailors. And so it would be that the advisor would rush back to the palace, rehearsing his story.
Oh, Mr. Fantic, please tell a lie. You will be replaced if you say you saw nothing, so please tell a lie. Say the clothes the tailor's making are so beautiful, you can't find words to describe them, so you stand there like a mime, with neither word nor rhyme. It's a crime! Please don't start sweating and start forgetting. Please tell a lie. You saw something exquisite being made. So the emperor will march, march, march proudly in the parade. In the parade. In the parade.
My advisor, come up at once.
The advisor ran up the stairs. He ran and ran and ran.
You've seen my completed frock, and I must hear. I must hear of its incomparable beauty.
Oh, Emperor, what have I seen? It's so glorious.
It's glorious, great
The
emperor!
light from the fabric, it is a heavenly glow.
I've seen it myself. It's so
It will
glorious.
stunt the
so
crowd.
glorious.
Trust me, my Emperor.
No, trust me.
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 I said me. Me, I.
I'm sicko!
Hello, I'm Fantic. We're sycophantic indeed. It is agreed the clothes we saw were beautiful.
We're sycophantic indeed. Indeed, the clothes you need must be better than glorious. Silks must be silkier.
One warrior.
And linen must be so raw.
So raw.
Thank God we saw the tailors measuring and pleasuring the clothes they were tailoring.
We're sycophantic indeed.
And glory to the clothes the tailor made. So in just one day,
You'll march away
proudly in your brocade, in the parade, in the parade.
And so the promised day would arrive. The emperor put last-minute touch-ups on himself and waited impatiently for his gown to finally arrive, for this frock was going to make him finally and forever the fairest in the land. The tailors arrived at the palace while carrying what seemed to be a very heavy package, although in truth, in fact, they had absolutely nothing in their arms.
Don't drop it, it's so heavy.
I would never dare.
They rushed up, pretending to be bent over by its weight, carrying this heavy, no-weight, invisible garment to the mirror where the emperor was posturing.
We have bejeweled this garment with the rubies of ancient India, the diamonds of Russia, and the finest silk in China. Sir.
The tailors then carefully dressed the emperor in nothingness.
Oh, put your arms here,
Let
sir.
us straighten the bottom a little bit, sir.
Put this around here, sir.
And the collar, let's stand it up.
Ah, it makes your perfect face glisten in the light.
The emperor looked in the mirror, and all he saw, alas, was his rather plump self. The emperor was afraid to admit in front of the finest tailors in the land and his jester sicko,
How does it feel, Your Majesty?
and his advisor Fantic,
Is it up to your liking, sir?
that he was not wearing the most beautiful frock in the world.
Beautiful, elegant,
Yes, Your Majesty.
marvelous,
You'll be the belle of the ball!
perfection.
And thus the parade would begin. The town was ablaze with excitement. The excited children were excused from school. Everybody cheered because they all knew that they had to love the emperor, because if they didn't love the emperor, where would they be? What would become of them? Would he close their shops? Would he send them far away? Would he set locusts free in the streets? They feared for their children because this emperor had a demonic streak. He acted on impulse. And they feared him while pretending to love him. And because they feared him, they rejoiced in him. Barely noticeable in the crowd was a tiny little girl. Her name was Thomasina. She was very good in school and was the country's hopscotch champion. Thomasina looked around oddly at everybody cheering and yelling. She didn't really understand because what she saw were beautiful ponies, an elegant carriage, a very dark sky everyone called sun, and a mostly naked emperor. Suddenly, in her beautiful voice that rose above the crowd, she sang out.
The emperor with no clothes on's not regal. To this smart little girl, he looks illegal. What I say about the emperor, do I mean it? Do I mean it? Yeah! I tell it exactly as I have seen it. Yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo, emperor, yoo-hoo, townsfolk, yoo-hoo, puppy dogs and mice, yoo-hoo, pussycats and teddy bears. I am here to tell you something that I see.
Quiet, girl.
When the emperor marches through the town, he waves and doesn't look down. When I look askance, he doesn't look at the world like he knows he is wearing only underpants. He's marching in underpants. Underpants? Yikes! Underpants! Ba-da-da-dum.
Little Thomasina could not help but sing and speak out the truth.
Mommy, Poppy, the emperor is N-A-K-E-D.
At which point the local farmer turned to the local hairdresser, who turned to the local butcher, who turned to the local baker.
Thomasina? Thomasina, you should be quiet, Thomasina.
Shh, Thomasina, please, George.
Be quiet, Thomasina. Shush, Thomasina. Shush, Thomasina.
And the emperor marched through the entire town, feeling so very great about himself. Suddenly, thunderclouds rolled in. Hard rain came from the gray skies above. Poor Thomasina, for her behavior, was put to bed without her usual cookies and milk, for she had seen and sung out the truth. Night fell. The town grew quiet, and the rain continued to pour down. Late that evening, the soaking wet emperor returned to his palace. He looked at himself in the mirror, and he heard the voice of a little girl who had been in the crowd.
The emperor is practically naked.
In a rare and special brief moment, one single tear appeared.
Oh, please, don't cry.
Please, Your Majesty, don't cry.
Let me wipe that tear away from you.
No, let me wipe it away.
Me?
Me!
No, me!
Silence! This is not a tear. I do not cry. Emperors do not cry. And this is not a tear.
Maybe a raindrop, sir.
No! I am the ruler. I am right, and the sun is shining.
Yes, it is, sir, Emperor. It is a beautiful day.
You're right, sir. The sun is shining.
But the Emperor would have none of that, for they had seen a tear, and the Emperor would never admit to any failure.
Jester, I don't need you. Go now. Advisor, be gone with you. You're fired.
The two bowed to the Emperor, sloughed off in a cowardly fashion, and left the palace.
I declared a holiday for me. Me. I declared a holiday in honor of delicious meat. We paraded through the town. The people could touch my marvelous golden crown and know how lucky they are to have me as their czar. I mean, the rest was me. But since the holiday was declared for me, a new outfit must be prepared for me. And what'll it be? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
As for Thomasina, she was sad to go to bed without milk and cookies, but she was glad, for she had told the truth that day, and she hoped that a new truth would prevail in her kingdom. For when she grew up, she would be the leader of true stories. But now that this particular story is over, I, the narrator, will make sure she gets the milk and cookies she deserves, because in this kind of fairy tale, anything is possible.
The emperor with no clothes on's not regal. To this smart little girl, he looks illegal. What I said about the emperor, did I mean it? Did I mean it? Yeah! I told it exactly as I had seen it. When he marched through the town, he waved and didn't look down. When I looked askance, he never looked to the world like he knew he was wearing only underpants. Underpants! I was punished, then was sent to bed with no dinner cause of what I had said. I'm taking a stance. Honestly, the truth is that the emperor was wearing only underpants. Always tell the truth. If you're old or middle-aged or even in your youth, really, there's nothing more important you can say. Telling the emperor exactly what he's wearing is what the world needs, especially today.
So what is the moral here? And what did you learn? There may be something here to ponder. Who is really telling the truth? Not the emperor, not the tailors, not the advisor, not the jester, not even the crowd. Perhaps just one little Thomasina?
So remember, always tell the truth. Don't be scared to tell a bully the truth. In a kingdom of cans, you can always tell the emperor he's always nude and only wearing underpants. Underpants, yay! Underpants! Ba-da-da-dum.
So there was no frock, there was no gold, there was no silver, there was no shining glory, and there was no sun. In fact, one has to wonder, was there really any emperor at all?
When he marched through the town, he waved and didn't look down. When I looked askance, he never looked to the world like he knew he was wearing only underpants. Underpants. I was punished, then was sent to bed with no dinner cause of what I had said. I'm taking a stance. Honestly, the truth is that the emperor was wearing only underpants. This is marching in underpants. Underpants.